All right, modern Mississippi fingerstyle guitar. That's my thing. It's a culmination of a lot of different influences, a lot of different players and their techniques. And it all started when got my first electric guitar. I was 5 going on 6. And at first my dad was like, learn 3 chords, I'll get you an amp. But then my mom was like, just tune it open for him, come on. So he did. He tuned it to an open E chord and showed me Bo Diddley and how to just with strumming the open chord, the open strings, how beautiful that was. And it got me started. And before I knew it, I had that amp. And I was still playing Bo Diddley in open tuning. And I still play in open tuning predominantly. And about half the time. And I still love that good Bo Diddley beat. So I started with that. You know, my dad and my mom both taught me how to finger pick. You know, they learned in the 60s from Furry Lewis and Bucka White. And they passed that down to me. So finger picking and playing slide in open tuning has always been just a part of the guitar for me. Then, long story short, all of a sudden, I'm a young buck running around North Mississippi, and I realized there's North Mississippi blues. There's this whole... I loved traditional blues, of course. I heard it, you know, in my dad's record collection. I thought it was a thing of the past, though. You know, the modern contemporary blues at the time didn't really interest me, but all of a sudden, I found hill country blues. There's like modern day electrified country blues right in my backyard. Multi-generational, these musical families were tearing it up and having so much fun, having picnics and house parties, and there was a nightclub, Junior's nightclub, and each of these musical families was filled with amazing guitar players of different styles. And R.L. Burnside was a great acoustic guitar, finger picker, and songster. Played slide as well, and he went on to play electric guitar. But in the 80s, when you go back and do the research or look at the films, in the 80s when he was playing acoustic guitar, he was a true finger-picking virtuoso, man. Such a great rhythmic force with the finger picking. Huge influence of me. And we'll go over RL's style, and I'll break it down for you in ways that even a beginner could dig, you know, because part of what I'd like to do is get, you know, beginners, like make it easy for everybody. And then Junior Kimbrough, he had a whole nother style. He played in standard tuning with a lot of reverb and very droney and very groovy, dance-oriented interpretations. It's a funny thing, back home, there was a repertoire of songs that every family played. We all played them. Like, that's what you had to play if you wanted to play a party back in Mississippi in the 90s. And we all played our own different versions of these tunes. It's really funny. Arthur Turner was a huge influence on me. Even though he played a homemade bamboo cane fife, his drummers would beat out these funky, crazy marching party rhythms. And his style of fife and drum music, which is melody and rhythm, would really translate it perfectly to Fred McDowell's style of guitar, Mississippi Fred McDowell, the godfather of the hill country blues. I didn't get to know him. My parents were friends with him. He passed right before I was born. But he was a great finger picker, slide guitar, a real genius of the horizontal approach of melodic guitar, you know. And that's another thing that's, you know, really important to me, the concept of the horizontal melody, you know, be you're playing slide or finger style. You know, once you master one string and you can play any of your favorite melodies on one string up and down, and then you go to 2 strings, you learn how those 2 strings relate together. You know, once you get that internalized, where the melodies lie underneath your hands, then you'll never be lost. And that's, you know, you can be lost, but whatever you do, don't clear the dance floor. That's one of the great lessons of hill country blues. Don't clear the dance floor, keep them dancing. So I incorporated all these styles, Arthur Turner and Fred McDowell, alternate finger picking, open slide, horizontal melody, Junior Kimbrough's style of standard tuning, R.L. Burnside's style of finger picking and his groove. I incorporated all those into my own personal vocabulary, and I explain them here for you. And that, the thing for me is Jimi Hendrix and like the chaos, especially Jimmy live, the chaos, the feedback that was just bubbling up underneath me. It was like he was just holding it down, trying to keep the peace. Every once in a while, he just let it rear, and he could control it and articulate the madness of his rig. the way he played that spatial freedom is such a huge inspiration to me. And my personal trip is combining like basically acoustic guitar fingerstyle approach and the way the guitar reacts. Like when I finger pick, I want it to feel like an acoustic, but I want it to respond and react as if it was Jimi Hendrix's rig on full blast, just about to go out of control or completely controlled chaos, you know, but with the slide acting as a whammy bar. And to me, that's my modern Mississippi thing, like primitive modernism, like taking like old-fashioned, ancient acoustic fingerstyle guitar and applying it to modern-day rock and roll and making people have a good time with it.